What's up, guys? Sigmar357 here, and today we're actually going to be doing some gun cleaning. I had a few I needed to clean, so I thought I'd get the camera out and show you guys my process. If you enjoy the content, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I greatly appreciate it, guys. Alright, so gun cleaning. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it has to be done, right? And I know there's a lot of new gun owners out there who are wondering, you know, how do I clean my gun? How often should I clean it? And like I said, I'm just going to show you guys my process. If you line up 10 people and they're all cleaning their guns at the same time, they're probably all going to be doing something a little bit different. So this is just how I do it. All right, so we're going to start out. We're going to be cleaning the M&P. First thing you always do is check to make sure that your gun is clear. I hope that goes without saying, but you never know. Some people might need to hear that. So I'll go ahead and I'll field strip it. And I usually lay like a little, this is just something I lay out so that I don't get cleaner all over my tabletop here. Just an old piece of denim. So I'll field strip my weapon here. All right. Now I myself use gloves because my old lady hates how the gun cleaner smells. And at the moment, she's pregnant, so she can really smell it. So I ain't trying to get in trouble with her, so I'm going to use gloves. Gloves are optional. Most of this stuff is non-toxic. It's not going to hurt you to get it on your hands. Don't take a drink of it by any means, but it's not going to hurt you to get on your hands. Alright, so what I like to use myself is Ballistol. There's a ton of different gun cleaners out there. Like, there's a bunch of them. I've used a little bit of everything, but I've been using this for quite some time, and it works great for me. It cleans as well as lubricates, so it's like killing, you know, two birds with one stone. All right. But like I said, there's a bunch of different stuff. I've used this stuff too. Let's see, hops. You can get that stuff pretty much anywhere. It's a solvent. They do sell like lubricant too. So it's good to, you know, after you've used a solvent to get all the grime and debris, residue off of it. Make sure you lube your gun up. You don't want it to rust. All right, so I'm actually going, this stuff here, it does work a little bit slower than the hops. Like I said, it lubricates as well as cleans, but it takes a little bit longer to cut through all that residue than, you know, something like hops. And I'm sure there's something else out there that cuts it even faster, but like I said, this is what I like to use. So I'll start out by spraying my entire barrel down. I'll soak it down real good. Recoil spring, I'll even spray it down because, you know, why not? They get dirty too. The slide. Now, I usually don't spray the striker block itself or the firing pin. Now, you know, some people do put a little drop of oil on their firing pin, and that's okay, but you don't want to soak it down with oil. I'll just put just a little bit of Ballistol on there. Get it all on the front. Make sure to get a little bit in the grooves there. Not a lot, just a little bit. All right, and while we're letting this stuff soak down, we're going to talk a little bit about some other things you'll need. You know, if you're not been cleaning guns for a long time and, you know, you're kind of wondering what you'll need and how to go about it, this is the things that I use. You need some kind of cleaner and lubricant. I usually get a couple brushes, old toothbrushes. I bought this at like the gun store. I guess it's specifically for guns, but a toothbrush works just fine. You want to get you a little cleaning rod kit. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Some of them do come for like different calibers. I pretty much use this little one for everything. It does come with another attachment to make it longer for rifles, and it works just fine. You'll want to get some patches, and if you'll notice, if you look at patches, this says for 30 to 45 caliber. I'll use these for pretty much everything. Even for a 22, I'll just cut them in half. That way they go down the bore a little easier. And I do have big patches. I think these are for shotguns, but I'll use them to wipe things down with. So you want to get some patches. When you get these little kits like this, they'll come with a little attachment that has a little eyelet. I'm not sure what that's actually called, but it has a little eyelet that just threads right into the tip of the cleaning rod. And those little kits usually come with little brushes, and they usually come with these little cotton things. I rarely ever even use those, so it's up to you though. If you like to use them, that's great, man. All right. So I didn't shoot this that much. I put maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 rounds through it just to kind of have some fun with it. I'd say this is probably soaked long enough because, like I said, it wasn't super dirty to begin with. So what I'll do is I'll use my brush, and what this does is it kind of breaks up some of that fouling, makes it a little bit easier to clean out of there. I'll run it through 2 or 3 times. And let that sit there for a second. And then I'll get my little eyelet and thread onto there. And I'll get me a clean patch. Just run it through there. And then you start running it through the barrel. And as you can see, this gun isn't really dirty. I mean, you can see there's not a lot of residue on that, but what I'll usually do is just run a patch through until it comes out clean. Pretty self-explanatory. Now I'm not going to focus too much on getting it spotless because I probably will take this out hopefully within the next week and shoot it again. So I'm not going to try to get it ridiculously just, you know, spotless clean because you're kind of defeating the purpose, you know. But if I was going to be putting this gun away for quite some time, you know, a couple months, 6 months, I'm going to clean it really, really good because all that residue in there, that stuff can cause rust. Rust can cause pitting. And if your gun gets pitting in it, then, you know, that's not good. You don't want big holes in the barrel of your gun. All right. So this is actually coming out pretty clean. As you can see, there isn't hardly anything, just a little bit on there. I'll run one more through it, and then I'll probably call it a day on the inside of the barrel. Because like I said, I probably will be shooting this again, so I'm not going to get too into it. All right, that should be good for that. All right, and then I'll get me one of these bigger ones here, and I'll get my brush. Like I said, it's an old toothbrush. I'll spray a little bit of ballistol on my toothbrush. I'll go through here and scrub down my barrel. I'll scrub down the ramp real good. Just getting all those little crevices. And then I'll take one of these patches and wipe it down. As you can see, that ramp, it's like I said, I didn't shoot it much, but for as much as I shot it, it still got, you know, it got dirty. So you definitely want to clean that out of there. Just wipe it down really good. Get in that little groove there. I don't know all the technical terms for, you know, all this, so if you hear me call something a thingamajig or something, just, you know, if you know the proper terminology, leave it in the comments. And I'll learn something. All right. So this looks pretty good to me. You know, I might even take and get another little patch here and wipe it one more time just to give it a once more over. Like I said, I'm going to be shooting it again, so I'm not trying to get super clean just for the sake of the video, you know. We'll get it cleaned up pretty nice. All right, and then I'll give my recoil spring a little wipe down because they do get pretty dirty. I mean, you can see it. They get pretty dirty. Like I said, they don't get super dirty, and I don't spend a whole lot of time. I'm not going to, you know, get a Q-tip and get down in between every one of those little notches in the springs. I'm not going to do that, but if you want to, by all means, man, it isn't going to hurt anything. All right. And now with the slide, like I told you, I usually don't spray the striker block itself. I'll just get me a brush because there is a little bit of ballistol already in there, so I'll scrub it real good in there. I'll make sure I scrub that little groove. Just give it a little quick scrub over. And these do get pretty dirty, so I'll kind of show you once I wipe this striker block off. I mean, they get pretty dirty, so it's good to get in there and clean that. So I'll just scrub it down real good with a clean patch, get the biggest part of it out of there, and then I'll definitely come back with another patch, clean it some more. And that's one thing I really like about this ballistol is not only are you cleaning it, but you're lubricating it. And And for the record, I don't get sponsored by Ballistol. I don't make any money from it. It's just what I like to use. It's what I've used for a long time, and it works for me. I've heard good things about a lot of other products, but like I said, this is what works for me. This is what I like to use, so this is what I use. Drop a comment. Let us know what you use. There's probably a bunch of products out there that I haven't even heard of, so then I'll kind of wipe my firing pin down there, and that's right where those shells go off and where they eject from, so get it clean. Not only will it kind of protect your investment to clean your guns, but it'll usually make them run better. It keeps them a little more reliable. Everything's nice and lubed up. There isn't a whole bunch of residue buildup. Like I said, this one wasn't super dirty, so I'm not going to spend a super long time on it because I'm hoping I'm going to get out and shoot it again this week. I'll wipe it down one more time. Yeah, and you can already tell a big difference just switching patches, how much cleaner it gets. Alright, and then I'll wipe down the outside of the slide real good. And that's one thing also that I really like about the Ballistol. It seems like when you, and I've heard other people say this actually, so I can't be crazy, it kind of creates like a, I don't want to call it like a film, but it's almost like a, like a cast iron skillet or something that leaves that like little layer of it on there, that little layer of protection. I really like that. It keeps your gun shiny, looking good, and protecting it. So, all right, so that's probably about all I'll do to that one. And then we get into the lower here. I usually don't spray these down. I'll take a little bit, kind of spray up in here, spray just a couple little drops here, a little bit back here. I'll take my brush and just kind of scrub a little bit on it. Get down in there a little bit, because it does get pretty dirty down in here too, guys. I'll even take it and kind of go down the mag well with my brush. Like I said, I won't spray any Ballistol because there's already a little bit on the brush, so I'll clean in there. Excuse me. All right. Grab me a few more patches here. And these are just the patches that I like to use. They work. Growing up, my dad would actually just take like old t-shirts and cut them up and use those for patches. But, it worked. And yes, it does get very dirty in there as well, guys. So don't just limit it to the barrel. Clean your whole gun, because guns are expensive. Protect your investment. Like I said, if you don't clean them, they will rust. And yes, I know that, this is plastic, this is polymer, but the internals, a lot of the internals are metal, and you don't want that stuff rusting. You don't want your gun to be worthless in a few years because you were, didn't want to take the time to clean it. And I don't really like cleaning guns. It's a lengthy process, especially if you're cleaning a bunch. We're not going to be cleaning all of these on camera. We actually already cleaned this one, so I made a video cleaning that one, and it shut off halfway through. So I was like, damn it, we're going to have to start a new one. All right. And I just get in there as good as I can. Like I said, I'm not going to try and get it spotless. Now, if I was putting it away for a lengthy amount of time, I'm probably going to take a little bit more time on it. And even if you're cleaning a revolver or, a rifle, it's pretty much the same for me anyway. By all means, try different things. They make, not only cleaning rods, but you can get like bore snakes, lots of different stuff for cleaning guns. But this is just what works for me. This is what I like to use. So, all right. Okay. All right, so I think that's good. All right, then, once everything's all cleaned and you're satisfied with your work, put your weapon back together. I took this apart and put it together a billion times. You think I'd do this in my sleep. Okay. All right, now we're going to reassemble. Oh, I think I did something wrong here. Yeah, I see what I did, guys. This piece twisted on me, I think. There we go. Okay. So, I'll give it a good wipe down. I'll even wipe the polymer down. The thing I love about the Ballistol, I mean, you can put it on anything. And I know it may sound like I'm like a fanboy for Ballistol or whatever, but I really like it. It works great. You know, it's all-in-one cleaner, lubricant, all that good stuff. So once I've got it back together, make sure the slide's functional. Pull it back, make sure it releases, make sure safety's working, and make sure my magazine is empty. And then I'll give it a dry fire. Cool. That's it. Now, like I said, guys, that's my process. Once I am done, I do have this is probably my final step. I have an old rag here, and it's pretty much just got Ballistol on it. It's not soaked, but it does have Ballistol on it. I'll go in, I'll wipe everything down real good. That way I don't have all kinds of Ballistol dripping off of it if you sprayed it on there, but it does make a huge difference. It shines it up. Like I said, it leaves that protective layer on it, and I really like it. But, you know, do some research, you know, try a few different things and stick with what works for you, you know, because you'll always get someone who says, oh, well, that's not how you're supposed to clean a gun. Well, this is how I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I've never had an issue. So, you know, that's the joy of it, is you find what works for you, and you stick with it. And, you know, as long as you're doing something to kind of care for them, I'd say you'll probably be okay. But all right, guys, that's my process for cleaning a gun. We'll do one with a revolver, too. It's pretty much the same. I do, you know, a little bit different. Pretty much the only thing different I do is I spray the whole gun down, pretty much. This has polymer, so, you know, you don't have to worry about that stuff, you know, rusting, or if you get, you know, your fingerprints on, it's not going to hurt it. Especially the top, because I'm not sure if that's a parkerized or what kind of finish that is, but, you know, it's probably not going to rust from a fingerprint like, you know, an old Smith & Wesson would, for instance. But, yeah, it's pretty much the same. But if you guys, you know, if you enjoyed that, if you learned something from it, drop a comment. If you guys, you know, use some type of cleaner or something like that is a lubricant as well as a cleaner, drop it in the comments. You know, I'll try something new, definitely. And yeah, if you guys stuck around this long, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, guys. You guys stay healthy and stay safe.